iScrappers, Tom from the iScrap app. Today is Wednesday, December 18th, 2018, and we wish you and yours a very happy, safe, and healthy holiday season. A Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. We hope that you are celebrating it with friends and family and people that care about you, and we hope that everything is going well. We'll try to shed a little light on this market the last week, and we'll try to give you a little insight over the next few weeks. We are doing this week's episode live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We try to do it every single Wednesday. I'll give you a heads up that next week we will not be doing this live. It will be Wednesday the 26th. We won't. Is it the 18th or the 19th? Is it? Wow.
19th.
No, sorry, that's why I was confused. Today's the 19th. Sorry, we didn't record this a day early. So next week we will not be doing the live, but we'll try to get a report out there. In between Christmas and New Year's is always a very difficult time to kind of gauge scrap prices and figure out what's going on. So one of those things that it's kind of a break, not because we want it to be a break, but because there's not a lot going on. So we'll talk about things that have happened over the last week or so, and we'll talk about things that are happening actually right now, things that happened in the last few days. But feel free to ask any questions that you have. We've continued to see dozens of questions and posts and dialogue going back and forth on our Facebook page, so it's been awesome to see thousands of people talking about scrap, and we're really looking forward to seeing more people get into that. We know that we're constantly having people join, and we're constantly kicking people out, believe it or not. If you're on there, trying to plug your own yard or, try to harass people for their material, we will get rid of those people. So if you see anyone, let us know. So I'm going to go into everyone's favorite red metal, copper, and it's been one that's been a little difficult over the last few months since we hit that nice high of about 60 cents higher than it was back in back in June. Crazy to think that that was already 7 months ago that we had those nice copper highs, but we are pretty much at 2018 lows right now. Really tough way to end the year, especially going into the holiday season when so many people and businesses save their materials if it's not their primary focus, and they look to get some bonuses and some cash to be able to buy presents for their friends, families. I know that some companies use the scrap for holiday parties and Christmas bonuses, so it's a little tough to stomach having the market down, but I still do think that the market is up a good 20 to 30 cents higher where I thought it would be if you asked me 12 months ago. So I know that that's just one man's opinion, but it is an opinion that, has a little history behind it. So I still think the market is in a strong spot. I thought it was going to go down in 2018, especially with a lot of the uncertainty with the tariffs and the trade wars and all the things that popped up throughout the year. So if you take all of those things and you really group them all together and you think about it, you say to yourself, yeah, right, maybe we are in a good spot, and maybe it's not where the prices would want to be. Of course, everyone wants them higher, but overall they still are at a relatively strong level. One metal, aluminum, which has been very difficult to stomach, and I think should be about 20-25 cents higher per pound right now, and that is really because of these tariffs that have kicked in. We see the new raw stock going for triple, quadruple scrap prices, and we just haven't seen those scrap prices rebound, and it doesn't look like they're going to be rebounding. Of course, we have those 90 days until March 1st that the U.S. and China agreed not to have any more tariffs go into place, and we've seen the Chinese purchase a very large order of soybeans, and some of you might hear soybeans. Let me just give you a little insight. Soybeans are one of the largest commodities that are traded, and it's one of the main foods that they'll feed to pigs, and the Chinese raise a lot of pigs, and that's why they're such an important commodity. You might say to yourself, all these vegetarians out there promoting soy all over the place. No, it's not just, to create your favorite soy milk or soy latte, whatever the hell it is that someone likes to have, but it is, to help feed a lot of they use it for cattle, they use it for pigs, to be able to then slaughter and feed them to whoever's going to eat them. So we've seen the Chinese purchase them, and of course that's not metal related, but it is related in the terms of the trade war and the tariff battle that we have going on, just showing that they're out there bringing material in and it might not be metal, but at least it's something. So we're going to see what happens, but there's been a lot of uncertainty with these markets, and there's been a lot of uncertainty with the trade talks, and not a lot of people know where it's going to go from here, and that's one of the things that we've been watching, and that's one of the reasons that we've seen copper, drop 15, 20 cents. Just this week, it dropped 17 cents when I wrote the report earlier today. Now, we have seen a rebound this afternoon, which is probably indicative of the Fed having a better outlook and maybe not having interest rates climb as high as they were going to. I didn't see the news flash. I think it's happening this afternoon, either 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. So we might see those markets roar back, but yesterday alone we saw a 10-cent drop. Monday a 4-cent drop. So, this morning we saw a very small increase, decrease, and we've seen 3 or 4 cents up at this point. But overall, the copper market is still trying to figure out what's going on, and that's what's going to happen for the next month. You have to figure that today's the 19th of December. There's 12 days left in this month. Out of those 12 days, only like 3 or 4 of them are business trading days. So consider December, pun intended, scrapped. Then you have New Year's that's going to take place on a Tuesday. So a lot of people are going to be off on that Monday. So you have Monday, Tuesday off. Then you have a 3-day work week. A lot of people are going to take it slower coming back from the holidays because that's just what happens, whether it's you, me, or anyone else out there. You're going to have a slower few days after a nice holiday season, wishing that it was going to happen again or recoping from what had already happened. So then you have the first full week of January hitting on the 7th. Then you get the week after. The week after is the week that I'm looking to see some pieces of news start to come out. That'll be 5 or 6 weeks before the March 1st deadline of the U.S. and the Chinese tariff thing. We also have a new Congress coming in. We have things happening that 3rd week of January. So it's going to be a very, very busy schedule. Maybe the 4th week of January. I don't know what it is. I think it's the 20th, January 20th. So we have a very busy schedule coming up, and we have a lot of uncertainty coming up and being here as well. You have the Senate, and you have the Congress, and the Democrats, and the Republicans talking about all different things that relate to the stimulus and budgets and tariffs, and all these things affect the big picture. And a lot of these things are so uncertain right now that we're really just trying to figure out what the heck is going to be going on over the next few weeks, months, and possibly year. I've learned not to predict a year out, because if I did that and I was terribly wrong, then someone can hold it over me. If I was terribly right, I can hold it over them. But the following year, things could be reversed, and there's no reason to do that. Just seeing a 10-cent drop yesterday in copper was a bit of a shocker. And it's unfortunate it happens a few days before Christmas, because what happens is a lot of scrappers are seeing these prices for 3-4 days. They're getting their loads together over the weekends. They're getting ready to bring them in, and then they get to the yard and you see 10 to 15 cents down. But that's where the reported prices have been so handy, where we started to see these markets dropping, and we started to see the prices rolling in on Monday and Tuesday with the prices a little lower. So because that happened, we weren't shocked when it happened. And a lot of scrappers were able to kind of report these things in, so we saw the trends going in that negative territory. Then you add other markets in the non-ferrous world. Stainless steel, the nickel market has been brutalized. And we've seen prices for stainless reported in the low 20s, 18 cents. We saw 27 cents a pound is a good price for 304 stainless right now, which is your most common grade. So these markets are really all over the place. Then you go and you talk about the steel market. The steel market has continued to be brutalized, with the markets down $30 to $40 a ton over the last month. We saw a small increase over the last few days, but not enough to even mention, because I think a lot of the scrap yards that have massive piles that you see every day or every week, they're trying to move their material out before year end. They're trying to get all of their things organized. They're trying to get their inventories in check, and these are all the things that go into everything that's kind of happening. So that's what's going on. Gold prices have remained high at over $1,250 an ounce. Palladium prices have remained high, but of course we're not finding palladium and gold bars on the side of the road. And if you are, please private message us, tell us where to go, and we'll be in the car right behind you. We'll even give you 60%. Just give us that 40. We'll provide the beer, the coffee, and the transportation, whatever we need to get that done. But, you know, guys, this is Tom from the iScrap app. We here wish you a very Merry Christmas, a very happy and safe and prosperous New Year. We hope that you're continuing to enjoy what we're doing here as much as we're continuing to enjoy as much as we're putting out. So we look forward to doing really great things with you in 2019. Again, very, very Merry Christmas. Until next year, I'll scrap you later.